Hey guys, Buff Game Bad. Today we're going to have a video, and today we're going over Season 4 weapons. I'm going to run through the loadouts that I currently have here with the Season 4 update here, Day 1 with the Fortune's Keep map that's been added, as well as we have the update to Caldera. So now that we have new weapons for Vanguard and the integration here for Warzone, I always like to run through at the beginning of the season and show the weapons that I'm using, how to counter the meta, off-meta weapons. Typically here we go with mainly Modern Warfare tactical type weapons, so these should be really good weapons, especially for the new Fortune's Keep map, which, full disclosure, I haven't played yet, but given the dense, more urban environments on the map, as well as some open environments, these loadouts should work even better than they would have on Rebirth. So go ahead now and we'll go over and jump on into it. First one here is going to be my PKM loadout. So this one, I usually alternate with my secondary here, but this is just going to be the standard PKM, the best in slot PKM build. This is going to be our monolithic suppressor here. We're also going to have our extended barrel. This is the longest one, the 26.9. You can also run the Pecheneg barrel here, which is the 25.9. Both are very good, but for the purposes of I'm running a secondary AR, going to get the most range and damage out of this as I can with the extended barrel. Going to run the tac laser there for the ADS speed, aiming stability, and the aim walking steadiness. Going to run that Russian VLK optic. Since this is a Russian machine gun, it makes sense to run the Russian optic. I'm running the wrong turn blueprint one here, though, just for that tan and black look on there. I really like that tan-black mix. Then we're going to run the snatch grip for the recoil control and the aim down sight speed. And our reticle here is obviously going to be the T-pose. So that'll give us the best in-slot PKM build here. Still, I believe, the best light machine gun in the game, at least for the Modern Warfare weapons. Some of the new Vanguard ones added today, I think, would blow this out of the water, unfortunately. But this is still a classic go-to for a Modern Warfare LMG. Backing out, running one of my old favorite Val builds here. So this is the AS M Val. I'm going to run the VLK 200mm OSA on this, the best in-slot barrel we have for the damage at range and bullet velocity. Tac laser. We're going to run the Viper reflex sight. This is the Cobra reflex in real life. It is a Russian red dot, so we'll put a different reticle on there that for some reason, just helps me out a lot with this weapon. Going to run the 30-round mag of the 9x39mm, that SP5 or 6, whatever this one comes with. Going to increase it from 20 to 30, and then we're going to run the Ranger foregrip here for the recoil control and the aiming stability. Now the reticle here we're going to use is the Sunspot. For whatever reason, this one with the Val just always works out really well for me and seems to just shred. Because of the small magazine here, only 30 rounds, high rate of fire, this just helps me keep shots on target very, very easily. So this is our ASM Val, still very good, and this is going to perform really well on the new Fortune's Keep map, especially paired with the PKM. The PKM for those longer, more open type engagements, and this one for the more CQC engagements. You can also swap this out with the Odin or the Ash 12 build that I've shown off a bunch here for the CQC builds. You can check out that video I did recently on the channel as well. Next up, the AN94 Abacon. So the AN94, this is going to be a little bit of a off, I would say, meta build, but this is one that I've always found very good success with. Going to run the monolithic suppressor, the factory 438mm barrel. This is the longest in-slot barrel. Again, best in-slot barrel for this weapon. Next up, we're going to run the Leopold Hammer or the Integral Hybrid here. This allows us, again, that 3.25 main optic as well as a top-mounted red dot in case I need to swap to anything close quarters with this weapon. It just allows me the option. So I think this optic is definitely my favorite in-game just because of the versatility that it allows you with any of your weapons. Next up, we're going to run that quad stack 60-round casket mag here of the 5.45 by 39mm Russian round. So we're going to double our magazine capacity from the 30 of the 5.45 by 39 to 60 rounds. And for the underbarrel attachment, instead of something like a commando, given that I'm using this mainly in burst with this one, I find that the Ranger foregrip works the best for this, for the recoil control, aim and stability. A lot of people run with the commando. For some reason, if I'm running this, I only run this one in burst typically, and I find better success with the Ranger foregrip, or even the Merc foregrip works really well as well. But I like the Ranger foregrip on this. Always has suited me really well. This is the AN94 Abacon. This thing still is just an animal, especially with that 2-round burst option. I'm pairing it here with the, obviously, the AUG from Modern Warfare. This thing I've gone back to recently, and it's just hitting really hard. I'm excited to use it on Fortune's Keep, given the more dense urban areas on the map compared to Rebirth. Gonna run the monolithic suppressor. Gonna run the 407mm light barrel, and I'm running the blueprint for the slipper clutch. You can see it's gonna give it more of that AUG A3 type handguard look, which looks really cool in my opinion. And then for the laser, we'll skip that. I'm gonna run the PBX Hollow 7. Mainly I'm running this for challenges. However, it really does work well for a sight picture for this weapon. Definitely a preferred optic for this weapon with the rate of fire and just the engagement distance that we typically use it for. Skip on the other attachments. Going to run the 60 round drum of the 5.56 by 45mm NATO here. This will increase the damage, the range, and the ammo capacity. Obviously, at base, this comes with a 9x19 parabellum, so we're doing a conversion here to an assault rifle and doubling the ammo from 30 to 60. And then the grip here, running the Commando foregrip. This thing just has a lot of side-to-side bounce, so this will help control that a little bit, and it works really well with this build. Very accurate and very powerful at these close to medium ranges with this build. So big fan of this build. I've been running it on a lot of my classes lately, and I have a lot of success with it, so definitely give it a try, especially on Fortune's Keep. I can see this thing being just an animal. Next up, we're going to run the Sig Sauer Mg338. So this one, the RAL LMG, haven't really gone back to this one in a while, but it is always fun to bring out. We're going to run the best in slot suppressor, the RAL Monocore. This is going to give us the sound suppression and the damage at range. Going to run the best in slot barrel with that 32-inch line breaker. You can obviously have some other nice ones here as well if you want to save on movement speed, but this is going to give you the recoil control, which you kind of need because of the bounce with it to engage at longer ranges. Next up, we're going to run that attack laser. Going to run the custom optic for this, that Solo Zero K498 4x integral optic. This is basically just a this is a vortex with a flip on it, so it gives you the 4x optic. You can't use the flip, but it is a nice precision picture, and you get a really good reticle at base. For me, it seems to be the best optic for the weapon itself. And then we're going to run the FFS oblique grip here for the recoil control and the ADS speed. Will hurt our movement speed, but at least it helps with the ADS speed overall, which works really well. So really good build here. Definitely hits hard, and I've been having some good games with it on Rebirth. Excited to get in and play with it on Fortune's Keep as well. Next up, again, this is the same exact build I showed for the AUG, just a different blueprint here. We're using the Night Raid blueprint, but overall it's the same exact build, just a different look with the blueprint. Again, still works really, really well for close range engagements. Next up is my Ghost class, my Ghost fully loaded class. So this is a PKP Pecheneg. It's the same build that I kind of showed for the PKM, although we're using the Pecheneg barrel with that 25.9-inch barrel. And then we're going to swap out the laser for the fully loaded. Again, this is my fully loaded class, so I'll get this, obviously, Ghost fully loaded when I come back from for the last loadout if I need it or something like that, or I'm low on ammo. And then I'm running the Stechkin with that 80-round drum magazine. I just recently unlocked this. Figured it'd be a good go-to to give it a try for a secondary in Ghost. Not super impressed with it so far. However, I haven't really had a lot of opportunity to really use it. But that Stechkin with the 80-round full auto definitely would be clutching very close quarters engagements. Next up, the classic LVAW, the Sig Sauer Black Mamba low visibility assault weapon. So this is the same build I've shown off for the past 2.5 years. Tempest Cyclone integral suppressed. Leopold Hammer, rubberized grip tape for additional recoil control, 60-round mag of the 5.56 by 45mm NATO, and the Commando foregrip. This is a weapon I've used since basically day one of Warzone, and it's never let me down. This thing is an animal and is, in my opinion, still probably the best and most consistent assault rifle in-game, especially from the modern warfare weapons. And I'm running the reticle here. I'm running the Heroic. Gives me that clean T-pose for the 3.25. Then that top-mounted Delta is gonna have the this build, this look to it, where the 3.25 will just have the T-pose. It doesn't have that yellow sunspot. The sunspot is only on the top-mounted Delta for the red dot. So keep that in mind. It works really, really well. One of my favorite builds for sure. Then this is my long-range NTW or the ZRG 20mm build. Gonna run that wrap suppressor, best in-slot barrel with that 43.9-inch combat recon barrel for the best bullet velocity. Now this is gonna sound strange, but this works really well for me. I'm gonna run the Ultra Zoom Custom. This is that 20 times optic. You can go anywhere from 2 to 20. This works. I don't know why it works really well for me, but it does work really well for me. I'm used to this optic from when I would always run it on the M82, and for whatever reason, I'm able to just get a lot of really great headshots with this weapon, with this particular optic. So definitely give that a try. It's a very good precision picture, and again, allows you to. The reason I like it is because it allows you to toggle your engagement distance, which is very useful. I can toggle for closer range or very, very long. Works out perfectly. 5-round mag of the 20 millimeter, and then the bipod for the underbarrel attachment for the recoil control, horizontal and vertical. The Ntw 20. This is my build with that 20 times optic on there, and like I said, give it a go. It sounds weird, but it works out really well if you can manage to learn how to toggle your zoom distance on it. It's a very, very deadly build. Next up is my M4 Saw mods. This is more of my Delta type loadout. Going to run the monolithic suppressor on the M4, base barrel on this weapon. It performs, honestly, the base barrel is strange because it performs better than the Predator or the 14.5 or the Commando. So you're better off with the base barrel. The only barrel that's going to beat the base barrel are the Corvus Custom Marksman for the M16A4 or the M16 Grenadier. So those are the only better barrels. Other than that, it's really good to save that slot with the base barrel. Tac laser, that Puck 15 on top mounted Picatinny. Gonna run a 4x flip, 60-round casket, and the Ranger foregrip. Again, this is our M4 Saw mod Block 2. Just a really sexy looking weapon. And again, running this with D-Day is my main weapon here. So it just looks really Delta-esque, which is why I like it. Sniper rifle, giving the M82 another shot here. Wrap suppressor, best in slot barrel with the combat recon. Gonna run the drop shot wrap for the aimed at sight speed, flinch resistant, and the sprint to fire time. 7-round speed mag and the bipod. Now this thing was nerfed, but it does now have, it still does have a one-shot headshot, but only out to its max distance, I believe. So it's not what it was, but I'm gonna give it a go in Fortress Keep and see how it performs, if it's still worth using. I used to be, at one point on Verdansk, hands down the best M82 sniper in all of Warzone, no contest. So we'll see if this thing still holds up when I get in the game and play with it. Next up, we have the M249 Saw Pera build. So this one, I haven't really used this too much in the more recent, probably about a month or two since I picked this up, but it was working really, really well for me back then. So we're running the monolithic suppressor, the 18-inch barrel, which is the shortest barrel for this weapon, tac laser, PBX Hollow 7, and then I'm going to run the Ranger foregrip. I've typically been running the Commando, but I decided I wanted to go back and give the Ranger a try and just see how this thing performs. It seemed to be working a lot better for me when I was picking it up last time, so I'm curious how this build will work. And again, this would be a good medium range engagement build. Still hits hard, and the fast rate of fire with 100-round box belt works really well. So give that one a try. Not what it was when it was peak meta, but it's still a very, very good weapon. And then I'm running another meme sniper here, the Reticle AMR, anti-material rifle. So we have that suppressor on there, best in slot barrel for that 7 straight, tac laser, rubberized grip for recoil control, and the bipod for recoil control. That's going to allow me to get better follow-up shots quicker with this particular build. Again, AMR base, running the base of the 50 cal BMG on this, and it's still, they did buff it, so it is a one-shot headshot. Same as the M82, just not out to very, very long distances, only out to its max damage range distance, I believe it is. So it's not a one-shot headshot at any distance like it probably should be, but it's still very effective. I remember back in the day on Verdansk, I was getting 600-plus meter headshot downs with this thing. It's unfortunate you can't do that anymore, but still a good weapon and fun to use if you can master it. Definitely a high-scale weapon for sure. Next up, we're running the G36C. So the shorter barrel G36, going to run the mono suppressor, the 8.98 Spitfire. This is the shortest barrel in slot to turn it into the G36C. And then we're going to run the PBX Hollow 7, again, mainly for challenges. And I have a tan version of this from one of the blueprints, which looks really good. 30-round mag, again, tan to look really good with the 5.56x45 NATO. And then the vertical Ranger foregrip again. This probably is not the best build for this, but I'm running this as close quarters. Mainly build it to look tactical, and tactical it is. So give that a go. Still a good weapon. I had a lot of wins on Verdansk back in the day with this build as well, so give it a try. And then we have the Mighty Mo blueprint for the MG5, so the M91. This being a monolithic suppressor, the heaviest barrel, the best in slot barrel for the added recoil control and damage at range. Tac laser, Leopold hammer, and the Ranger foregrip. This thing still hits really, really hard. One of the more underrated machine guns, honestly, and I think it performs very, very well. Definitely the most slept on LMG from the Modern Warfare. And again, we're running that heroic for the T-pose and the top-mounted sunspot reticle on there for more accuracy at range. Next up, I have my AK-M build, or the AK-103. Gonna run the mono suppressor, Spetsnaz Elite barrel for that Midwest Industries key mod handguard, or the M-Lock handguard. Gonna run the tack laser, 40-round Spetsnaz mag of the 7.62 by 39mm. Gonna run the tan version of that with the Dusk Ripper. Again, I love that black and tan combo. And then the Ranger foregrip. This thing I was using the other day on Reaver, it just crushes. Very good build here. Definitely give it a try if you haven't. Perfect to be pairing with a sniper rifle. It's a killing machine for sure. One of the better AK builds I think I've made. And then we're running the AX50. So this is just probably the better in slot, if not the best AX50 you can run. Mono suppressor, best in slot barrel with that 32 factory inch barrel. Gonna run the tack laser, variable zoom, and then the Vanguard arms assassin stock for the ADS speed. So this is our AX50. Again, definitely an underrated weapon. Very, very good. And then for the last loadout I'm running here is the Tavor 21. So mono suppressor, FSS Ranger. This is the best in slot barrel for the damage at range, bullet velocity, and the recoil control. Skip the laser, running Leopold hammer with the integral hybrid. Again, the same. Actually, we're running a different reticle here with the elegance for that blue sight. For some reason, I just don't like it with the heroic because the rate of fire. It's a little bit, and the recoil it keeps it a little bit more difficult to stay on target. The elegance or even the chevron is a good one for this build, in my opinion. And then next up, running the 50-round magazine of the 5.56x45 NATO, and the underbarrel is going to be the commando foregrip for the recoil stabilization and aiming stability. And again, I'm using this Sandstorm blueprint with that, to give me that tan and black mix. For some reason, I just love the way this looks. If you want to maintain the blueprint, though, you're going to want to use, I believe it's the compact barrel for the Sandstorm barrel, although it's not really showing there for whatever reason. But it still, I believe, is tan. It's just not loading for whatever reason. But that's a Tavor 21. Let me know down below what your builds are that you're going to be running here in Season 4. This is what I have, and right now I have, like I said, the M4A1 Salt Mod Block 2 is my go-to with D-Day as the operator, giving me that Delta-type operator. Looking forward to jumping into Fortune's Keep. Let me know what you guys think, what your builds are down below. Social media links, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all that are down below, as well as Modern Warfare 2 playlist. I'll link the channel to The Scope, where I co-host a podcast with Crash Games FPS. I'll link his channel there as well. Go ahead and check out that channel. We do a live podcast every Monday and upload the podcast and all the clips to that channel. So go ahead and check that out as well. Till next time, Buffer Gaming, out.